I want to take this opportunity to do a really deeper dive onto what the Indiana Fever's done in this off season. Some of the just really incredible things that they've been able to do to really bolster their team for this upcoming 2025 season. They have, in my opinion, just absolutely nailed it in free agency, which is not easy when you have only a 13 league team. Now and you just had the expansion draft with a new 13th team, Golden State. That makes things little bit more difficult as far as getting what you need or being able to find people because there's just not as many places to go or as much of as many places to put people. So that's a little bit harder. So if you can do what the Indiana Fever have done in this off season, you have to give them a lot of credit. You're not there's not 29 places. There's only 13. So movement's going to be a little bit more restricted and so I just want to give them do a little bit more of a deep dive into just how good this offseason's been. Like I said, first and foremost, re-signing Kelsey Mitchell to a contract. I know they did the coring thing with her, which, like I said, is like the NFL franchise tag. I talked about that in my last video, how that's really, I think, going to help her and her relationship with the team. And her understand that, they're interested in her and having her, giving her an actual contract and not just, yeah, you're going to be here, you're our property. You signed this, and now we're putting this tag on you, and you have to stay with us. It's like, no, we want you here, and here's our gift to you for that. Here's your contract. Here's us saying, Kelsey Mitchell, we want you on the Indiana Fever. And like I said, somebody who's become a big fan of the Indiana Fever, especially of the big three, watching how Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell have really began to play off each other. We darn sure want Kelsey Mitchell. She has a great attitude, I feel like. And like I said, she brings a great attitude and swagger to the Fever. She's already done that. She's an amazing player. And so looking forward to it. Looking forward to having her there, hopefully for quite a few more years. I want to see her and Caitlin in that backcourt for a long time. But one of the areas, that they really struggled though was with the 4 spot. They had NaLyssa Smith, who just I don't. To me, I think she's overrated. She's good, and there is trade value for her. But she had no chemistry with the new Caitlin Clark style of the Fever, the way Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hole and Erica Wheeler and pretty much everybody else on there had. Her, and plus her being kind of a veteran presence. I think she's a veteran. I don't even know how many years she's in the league, but didn't do much for them. And obviously, of course, when she played her girlfriend, Dejanay Carrington, that was not good. So she got shipped off to Dallas. Dejanay's in Dallas now, I think. So now I have a new team to know who to hate. I really can't stand Dejanay. She's really a bad human. That's all I can tell you. To take that much joy in, hurting somebody and then, just being their antagonist and that being your identity, that's crazy. So hopefully, so yeah, I think they're right, Loki. So yeah, hopefully those two can go down there and be very happy together. I do wish them happiness together, and hopefully they lose a lot of games. That's all I can say. They can lose them together now and go home and console each other. So, but the pickup they got in her spot was huge. Like I said, Natasha Howard. I talked about that in the video. Getting Natasha Howard there was a big deal. She has first of all, she has a veteran presence, which is something the Fever I feel have been lacking. Is a true veteran presence for these young players like Caitlin Clark, which is now being her second season. Leah Boston just being her third. And like I said, Kelsey Mitchell, I don't know if I'd call her a veteran quite yet, but I mean she's got about 6 or 7 seasons under her belt now, which is she's getting there. But somebody like Natasha Howard's been in the league for a little over 10 years now, and and as of the last season, she was putting up, I believe, 16 points and 6 boards, if I'm not mistaken, per game. So that's a big thing. They've struggled on the glass, I will say that. The Fever did last year, even though they did hold Angel Reese in check pretty well. But that's really not as big of a deal as you think it is. The media wants you to think it is, but they did get to the point where she had a hard time stat padding until they until they put the third string in. But I think I made plenty of videos about that one. So, but yeah, Natasha Howard is going to be great for them. You put her in instantly in that 4 spot, and it's an instant upgrade. Very good. And like I said, very excited about what the future will bring with her. But the one I forgot to mention in the last video was Sophie Cunningham. They got her from Phoenix. I think she's part of that trade, or maybe she just signed, or however it happened. Some people have her projected to be in the starting lineup. Seems like she's. I think she'd make a good sixth person. I don't know if she's ready to. I think Lexi Hull is going to be better in that spot as far as a starter. I do think they can spell her some. She does have a tendency to get a little bit of foul trouble. She plays great, tenacious defense, which can in turn lead to some, foul issues. And that's another thing somebody like Natasha Howard can do is, kind of take over some of that for Aaliyah Boston, who has the worst whistle in the WNBA. And I've never seen anybody just get as many ticky-tack, shit-ass calls called against them as Aaliyah Boston. But she's a hell of a defender, and if they'll show some fairness, I'm not asking for her to have a special whistle, but good Lord, just stop. When a player throws themselves into her, while she's just standing there, and you call a foul on her, or you call a foul on her, when she wasn't even close to the play, it was another player, and you have to burn one of your challenges. I mean, I don't know what she's done to the league, but to make them hate her so much, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact she embraced Caitlin Clark, who the league hates. But either way, I mean that's the good thing. And they also, in shoring up that position, they also got DeWanna Bonner. Now she's been in the league for a long, long time. She's only 3 years younger than me. She's 37. Been playing for quite some time, since 2009. She's been a part of some championship teams. She's been around for a while, and she was averaging 16 points and 6 boards a game. So she'll do a very good job, I think, of kind of playing, being able, I think, to come off the bench and, help kind of give a little bit of a breather and, be very productive in place of Natasha and Aaliyah. Maybe take Natasha out first and put DeWanna Bonner in her spot, and then take Aaliyah Boston out and put DeWanna in her spot. Just kind of, I think there's a lot of good rotations there. And I know with our new coach, Stephanie White, she was with her last season, so I think it's a good pickup. I know I was very critical of DeWanna Bonner when talking about the Connecticut Sun in their playoff video, how she's 6'4", how they had to put her on Caitlin Clark, which is like putting Lily on Loki. Ain't that right, Lily? So yeah, and she was kind of like talking trash to her and doing all this stuff, and but at the same time, I felt like that. But at the end of the day, she does do a good job. She's long. She's always taking very good care of herself. And say hey, Lily. Say hey to everybody. Like I said, I feel like they've done a very good job with that. And she's done a very good job at taking care of herself. And she's a good asset for the team. She wants to talk trash to all the other 6-foot tall guards that she swats away. Fine, that's fine. I'll roll my eyes, but that'll be about it. So I'm glad to have her on the team. I will say that. I'm glad. I think she's going to play a good role, and I think at this point, she understands her role, which is a good thing. I think she understands. She's getting older. She was never really that person ever at any point in her league, at her time in the league. But she's always been a very good, role player. She knows her championship team. She understands what it means to be a piece of a championship, just like Natasha has been a piece of 3 championship teams, and she understands that. So I really believe DeWanna will understand her role. She wanted to go there, so I think she knows what she's getting into. So I just think they've really knocked it out of the park, Indiana has. So I think DeWanna's going to be a great addition for her role. I think Natasha Howard is going to be a great starter for them. And I think Sophie Cunningham is going to do a very good job. I know her stats aren't the greatest. Like I said, I think they have a good plan for her to get her in there. Maybe to, like I said, spell Lexi for a little bit, and maybe spell one of the guards, Kelsey or Caitlin, for a little bit, and just go in there and do her thing. She does seem to be quite interested in being an Instagram model. She is very beautiful. I will say that. I mean, she's beautiful, but it doesn't seem like it's really affected her on court play. And like I said, she seems very excited about playing with Caitlin. She was trying to, at the All-Star game she wasn't on the All-Star game team, obviously, but she was at the games. I think it was in Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken, where she was playing. She was, openly, after a few beers, talking to Caitlin Clark, saying, hey, come to Phoenix. I think, she's excited to play for her. So I think they all understand, look, we got this generational talent here, and we have a lot of really good pieces. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi. Now we can put Sophie Cunningham in there, and I really think they have a lot to build for. So we got another expansion team coming, Toronto, so they're going to have to lose somebody, one or two people to them next year or the year after that, whenever it's going to be. And I think there's another expansion team in the works. If they keep uh, building ratings the way they have, the way the WNBA has, there are a lot of expansion teams. So it's good that they go ahead and build as much as they can right now, because like I said, with these expansion drafts, they're going to have to start doling out. But to me, I think you have to look at Indiana as a championship threat for sure. When they were good under under the way they were last year, which was not anywhere close as good as they are now, and plus now Caitlin and Aaliyah are a year older and a year more experienced, and Caitlin's finally got some rest time. Goodness gracious, you could tell she was about just on no legs at the end there, but now she's had a chance to do that. I look for either a deep playoff run or possibly a championship next year. And like I said, having a stacked roster like that, you can not have to play people 40 minutes a game. You can actually take Caitlin Clark out for 4 or 5 minutes a game instead of having her playing averaging 37 minutes a game, which some of those are blowouts, and they took her out for an entire quarter. So she's basically playing 38 minutes a game every night when it actually matters. Have her play 34, 35 minutes a night. Rest those legs a little bit, and also when she's on the floor, let some other people not have to, where she doesn't have to carry the load. If they pick her up full court like they did all season, pass it off to somebody else who can do it, who can get the ball down the court. And like I said, they plan on running, and that depth's going to help out a lot. So, and with the WNBA finals going to a 7-game series, which I don't know how that's going to play out, they have hard enough time not embarrassing themselves over 5 games, like last year's finals in the WNBA. Again, that's where those legs, those fresh legs, will just kill you. So, looking forward to it. Like I said, just super, super proud of the Fever franchise. They brought in Kelly Krosnoff and Amber Cox, and they have really knocked out of the park. Getting Stephanie White, I think, is going to be an amazing job. Or I think she's going to do an amazing job. I think that was an amazing hire by them, their ability to get her. And I just think they've really, really done the right thing. Like I said, getting Kelsey in there and getting her a contract was number one. They even said this is number one. That's them saying, look, we, the Indiana Fever, want you, Kelsey, and we're willing to go out of our way and do what it takes. And they've done that. And like I said, getting all these other pieces in, getting Natasha Howard in there, getting DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham in there. I look for a lot of really good things from this team. Maybe it'll happen next year, maybe it'll happen the year after that, but then keep most of this core together for years and years, you might be looking at a dynasty. And hey, I'm excited to watch it. This is honestly the most exciting sports story that I'm following. The NBA is just in such bad shape. Even this whole Luka thing is just kind of like really? This happened? There's going to be some interesting fallout, but is it the good kind of interesting, or the, dear God, why do I care about this shit interesting? So, we'll have to see. And I guess I just want to see how Indiana does. Looking forward to it, and I'm hoping they do well. And just, I think they have a good team assembled. I really want to see what they can do. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later.